back. Happy New Year. It's Monday, January the 9th, and we have a lot of updates for you today. I probably should be sitting down at my desk. I've got a lot of notes to cover with you, and we've got a couple of changes here in the new year. This is update number 273, and for the first time today, we are streaming live not only to Facebook, but also to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/screaltors. Mike, does the stream, are we streaming? Everything look good? All right. Well, it's an attempt to reach a broader audience, and as we go into the calendar, into the year, we'll have other staff and leaders participating in our updates, but wanted to kick off with a few things for you today. Let's start by recapping some news that happened while we were out for the holidays. So the Lame Duck Congress finally finished up its work just before Christmas, passing another big spending bill. And NAR has got a great update on all of the housing-related provisions that are in that update. And there was money that has been allocated to help fight money laundering in real estate, to help further expand broadband internet connection in rural areas, and a ton of funding that has been allocated for everything from elderly housing assistance to rural housing, the USDA program, small business and veteran housing, including more money for infrastructure and helping in areas that have high rates of manufactured housing as well, to try to address some of the housing-related shortages and some of the housing costs, the housing affordability issues that are in crisis mode in so many parts of the country. So we'll put a link in the comments and make sure that you can download the wins in real estate that are in the spending bill that NAR has identified, so that you can be aware of just what is happening through that massive spending effort that was passed just at the end of the new year, at the end of the last year. Well, the new Congress is in place, and we've all probably been reading in the news about the battle over the speaker votes, and now that that's all behind us, I know that NAR will be working with the leadership team in the House and the Senate, along with the administration, to make sure that our real estate agenda continues to move forward. I hope to have one of our NAR legal and legislative staffers on an upcoming call to allow you to hear that direct in person. So I'm going to switch gears and talk about a few SCR strategic initiatives. You know, at the beginning of the year, I don't know if y'all saw my Facebook post this morning, but my whiteboard is clean. I've wiped it all off and getting ready to add all of my 23 goals and initiatives on it. What are going to be your top initiatives this year in addressing the changing market and changing economic conditions? Hopefully you've got your plan in place already, and just now I'm just now transitioning my actually written plan to actually my whiteboard. If I don't see it, sometimes it gets lost, so I gotta have it up front and visible. But your state association is embarking on some pretty bold initiatives, and I want to just kind of highlight a few of these task forces and work groups that are going to be working over the next few weeks and months to study things like how do we identify opportunities at the local and state level to provide better efficiencies, better cost savings, better service for our members. You know, just for example, if we had, if your local association was negotiating a lockbox contract for 30,000 realtors instead of 500, could you get a better rate? Could you get better service? I think the short answer to that is yes. We're going to dig into the weeds of that to see what other cost benefits, what cost efficiencies we can bring to the table to help all of our members across the state get better service and hopefully at a lower cost. We're also exploring how to expand our legal advocacy. How do we address issues at the city, county, at the city level or county level or even the state house level when legal action is required in addition to our legislative, our lobbying advocacy? And in that light, in that same vein, how do we expand our government affairs director presence in those areas of the state that don't have those key staff roles? Most of our local associations do not have government affairs staff. How can we as a state association partner with our locals to provide better monitoring, better lobbying of the issues that are happening on the ground in our own communities? We know, I think you know as well, that the rubber hits the road at your city and county level. Those decisions are going to impact your life, your business, oftentimes more directly than anything that happens at the State House or even in Congress. So these are some exciting programs that we're researching and studying. Hopefully soon we'll have some recommendations on how we can address these and make your association even better. So a couple of things a little closer to home. We've talked about Washington a little bit today, but I also want to talk to you about where South Carolina is kind of in the big picture. Did you know that at year end last year, South Carolina was ranked as the #1 move-to state in the country? That's the first time we've held that top position, and this is according to some of the moving company surveys and things that were put out at the end of the year. That is higher than Florida, higher than North Carolina, which have traditionally have held those top 2 spots. The Charleston metro area, the Greenville metro area are the most popular move-to areas within the state. But the other, we're not just growing because people are moving here, but we're also growing because our native population, our native growth is increasing. South Carolina came in at #3 according to the Census Bureau of population growth, and that's behind Florida, which came in at first, and then Idaho, which came in second. So not only are we growing, people are moving here, but South Carolina is not only attracting new people, but they're also attracting new business. The Department of Commerce shared that in 2022, over $10 billion in capital investment in South Carolina, creating over 14,000 jobs. This is the kind of momentum that will pay dividends in the short term and in the long term for South Carolina. These types of economic news, kind of like dominoes. Once one falls, the rest fall in place, and success breeds success in that economic area. And I'd be remiss for not mentioning real quickly, we lost, over the holidays, we lost a former Secretary of Commerce, Joe Taylor, from here in Columbia, who was serving on City Council, passed away unexpectedly. Our prayers are with him and his family. Great advocate for South Carolina and a leading driver of economic growth and change. He will be sorely missed. But this is all good news for us as we go into some challenging times in our markets. Inventories are still tight. Interest rates have kind of crept down a little bit. They've kind of stayed at that 6+ range percentage points on the mortgage interest rate side. And we're starting to see some news breaking that perhaps by year end, first quarter next year, that we're going to be in full kind of boom mode once again. But I think we need to stay alert to what's happening right now in our markets and communities and communicating that with our clients and customers. One way that you can find out about what is happening right now is by attending our Capital Conference, which is coming up in just a few weeks, February 1st and 2nd here in Columbia. Michael put a link to the registration. There's no cost to register, but please register if you're planning to attend. Obviously, we prepare food and beverage for the event, and we need to have a good head count to make sure we've got enough food for everyone that attends. But we've got Dr. Joy Von Nessen will be there to talk about short-term rentals and their impact on our economy. Our NAR chief economist, Lawrence Yoon, is going to be providing an update, an economic update for South Carolina as well. And in addition, and as if that's not fun enough, you're going to learn more about RPAC. Our legislative reception is going to be held that evening on the 1st. And we've got a great program for those of you that are serving in committee roles or leadership roles in your local association. And we're also going to have a little bit of fun. How many of you have heard about the NAR initiative this year that NAR President Kenny Parcell is pushing? It's called Riding with the Brand. I think I've got, yeah, here's a t-shirt. I'm sure you've seen this logo somewhere on the NAR website or in our marketing materials. But Riding with the Brand is going to be a really fun event. NAR is literally visiting every single state in the country this year on a big promotional tour. There's going to be a giant RV. There's going to be tons of fun and prizes. And one of the grand prizes that SCR will be giving away at the event is this very cool electric. Sorry, I turned the wrong way. I'd never make it on The Price is Right, huh, Mike? But a very cool electric bike. Kind of goes with the theme of riding with the brand. I don't know if you can see, but the company name is Cowboy, and this is one of their step-through models that we'll be giving away at the conference. And it's pretty appropriate that it fits in with the branding. We've got lots of cool SCR gear that we'll be passing out as well, and we'll have this available for at all of our staff visits and leadership visits this year as we travel across the state. But you've got to be present to win. NAR is also raffling off a Harley Davidson motorcycle that's got some cool Realtor branding on it. You've got to donate to the Realtor Relief Foundation to get a ticket. I believe it's $25 a ticket, and the bike will be on site as well. The location, I know all of you Clemson fans are going to love this, but we're hosting the Riding with the Brand at the Zone at Williams-Brice Stadium. Maybe Cocky will be there. I don't know. You guys can come take a picture with him. We'll see. We're trying to make that work. But all kidding aside, it's going to be a fantastic program where we engage with our Realtor Political Action Committee. We learn about our advocacy efforts. We meet with our legislators. We learn about leadership to prepare for the new year. And then we get to also get a better understanding of what the Realtor brand is and why it's so important to all of us and our business. And we get to give away a pretty cool bike at the same time. So please join us. So Mike, I think that's it. We'll have some links in the comments to a lot of the handouts and things that we talked about and how to register for the conference. In the meantime, have a fantastic week. I hope your new year is filled with health and happiness. And we look forward to catching up with you again real soon. Take care.